Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bosch. The number of clean diesel models in North America will double by 2014. Bosch Clean Diesel. Good, clean, fun. Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. And by Dow Automotive Systems. Improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com.
Welcome to Autoline Daily for February 13th. And now the news. UAW President Bob King is exhorting his members to risk arrest, take direct action, and start demonstrating about what he calls the injustice in America. He's also calling on other unions to create a new movement for social justice to fight corporate greed. The Detroit News reports that King's veins were bulging and his voice went hoarse from shouting during remarks celebrating the 75th anniversary of the sit-down strike against General Motors. After the speech, King told reporters that labor and management can achieve more by working together. Kia released the sketches today of a new concept car called the KH. That's the code name of what will be called the K9 when it goes into production. Though Kia is not releasing any details, we believe the car will be based on the rear-drive Hyundai Genesis, since that's where Kia gets its platforms and powertrains. The KH bears the unmistakable form language that chief designer Peter Schreier has created for the brand. It goes on sale in Korea in the first half of this year. Look for it in the U.S. market next year. Car sales in China have slowed from their breakneck pace the last few years, but J.D. Power predicts sales will explode in the country before the end of the decade. By 2018, the forecasting firm says sales of passenger vehicles will hit 35 million units. The two fastest growing segments will be mid-size cars and SUVs, and the growth in sales will come from the country's second and third tier cities. And speaking of big jumps in sales, medium and heavy-duty trucks saw big increases in the U.S. and Canada. According to Ward's, big truck sales in the U.S. were just under 25,000 units in January. That is a 36% increase compared to a year ago. In Canada, sales were up over 64% compared to a year ago to just under 3,000 units. And you know, this is a pretty good sign because big truck sales are an indication of how the economy is going to be performing. GM is bringing autonomous vehicles another step closer to reality. This fall, it will debut an integrated suite of safety and convenience systems on the upcoming Cadillac XTS. The driver assistance package is what they call it, and it consists of a laundry list of different onboard sensors ranging from ultrasonic and radar to traditional cameras. Combined, they allow a vehicle to basically see around itself a full 360 degrees. A battery of sensors like this is a prerequisite for autonomous and semi-autonomous vehicles. Interestingly, the system draws ideas from the Chevy Tahoe that GM built to participate in the DARPA Urban Challenge. Mercedes-Benz is advancing the humble seatbelt by motorizing it. No, it's not bringing back those horrible ones from the 1990s where the shoulder strap followed a track along the top of the door opening, what we all called the electric mouse. Nope, what it's doing here is making the buckle easier to find and use. It's devised a way of making them pop up by almost 3 inches when entering a vehicle. No more fumbling around to try and find them. The engineers have even made them light up in the dark, and you can look for this clever feature to debut in the not-too-distant future. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at Honda's new CR-V.
Clean diesel models in North America will double by 2014. Why? Higher take rates, lower cost of ownership, longer range and better fuel mileage, lower CO2 emissions. Clean diesel, good, economical, functional. Bosch, invented for life.
One of Honda's best-selling vehicles is the CR-V. In fact, right now, it's actually outselling the Accord in the American market. And to keep that momentum going, the company recently redesigned it. You're looking at the 2012 Honda CR-V, one of the best-selling trucks on the market. Oh yeah, you heard me right. This is actually a truck as are its two top closest competitors, the Ford Escape and the Toyota RAV4. The reason they're classified as trucks is those automakers need to boost their overall truck fuel efficiency. Classifying these things as trucks helps them do that. This is the all-wheel drive version. You can expect to get 25 miles per gallon in it, says the EPA. 25 if you only go with the front-wheel drive version. Even though I said it's a small truck, this thing's very spacious inside, especially in the rear seat. I'll show you what I'm talking about. When you get in here, man, there's all kinds of knee room between me and the front seat. Lots of headroom in here, but especially look at my feet. Very easy to get in and out over the sill. And the same is true for the rear hatch. Look, when you open this thing up, very wide opening, very tall opening, easy to get all kinds of boxes or other things in here. And of course, you can fold down the seats and get even more room. But come on, let's talk about the downsides of this vehicle. Come on inside with me so I can talk about that. As soon as you get underway, you'll notice that there's a lot of road noise that seems to come through on this vehicle. I think Honda maybe skimped on some of the sound deadening, probably to try to make this thing lighter and to cut costs. More on that in a moment. And when you get up to highway speeds, you'll notice a lot of wind noise, especially around the rear view mirrors, and road noise. I think one of the reasons for that is this thing only comes with a 5-speed automatic transmission. I mean, come on, hello, Honda, a 5-speed automatic in 2012 when everybody else is going way beyond that. It shows how much they're trying to cut the cost on this thing, especially when you try out the materials on the interior. Everything is hard plastic. I think that is not keeping this car competitive with what it's got to go up against. The CR-V starts at around $23,000. If you fully want to load it up, you can get it to about $31,000. Now, this has been the perennial leader in the compact CUV segment. I'm not sure it's going to hold on to the #1 spot much longer because that new Ford Escape looks like it could really come on strong. Interestingly, even though Honda makes the CR-V at one of its plants in the United States, about 1 out of 3 CR-Vs are still imported. The company also makes them in Japan and in the UK. And that's today's report on the latest news in the global automotive industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.